there are different terms which we will hear while making comparison of financial statements. So during financial analysis, the different terms used are: first one, gross capital employed. Gross capital employed is the total of assets. Total asset is equal to total of both fixed assets and current assets. So total asset means, or gross capital employed means, fixed assets plus current assets. Second term is net capital employed. Net capital employed is the long-term fund used in business. The long-term funds, just like equity share capital, preference share capital, debentures, bonds, etc., used in business is called net capital employed. It includes both shareholders fund and long-term debt. Net capital employed includes debt capital plus shareholders fund, or it is the total tangible assets minus current liabilities. We can also find net capital employed by finding the difference between total assets minus current liabilities. Another important term to be considered is shareholders fund. As, as the name indicates, it is the fund of shareholders. But you should understand that shareholders fund is not equal to share capital. It includes equity share capital, preference share capital plus reserves and surplus. Three elements. These three elements are coming under shareholders fund. Once more I am repeating, shareholders fund includes equity share capital, preference share capital plus reserves and surplus. Another way to find shareholders fund is total tangible assets minus outside liabilities. We will deduct the external liabilities from total tangible assets. Then next term is borrowed fund. Fund borrowed, that means debt capital. It is the amount of borrowed fund, it is the amount of debt capital. It is the amount collected through creditorship securities. We know debenture, bond, long-term loan, public deposits collected. All these are coming under borrowed fund. Then another term is gross working capital. There are two types of working capital: gross working capital and net working capital. Gross working capital means the amount of working capital invested in current assets. The total of current assets are called gross working capital. The next term is net working capital. Net working capital means total current assets minus current liabilities. Current assets minus current liabilities are called net working capital. Generally, when we refer working capital, we use the term net working capital. That means whenever we calculate working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. That means net working capital concept is used. Then another term is gross margin. Gross margin is gross profit. We know what is gross gross profit. Gross profit is equal to net sales minus cost of goods sold. Sales minus sales return is called net sales. Then cost of goods sold means opening stock plus purchase plus direct expenses minus closing stock, as we already know. So this is another term, gross margin or gross working capital. The next one is net margin or net working capital. Net profit. We know what is net profit: gross profit minus indirect expenses plus indirect income. We already know net margin or net profit. Then another term is operating profit. Operating profit means gross profit minus operating expenses. ഗ്രോസ് പ്രോഫിറ്റിൽ നിന്ന് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് എക്സ്പെൻസുകൾ ലെസ് ചെയ്താൽ കിട്ടുന്നതാണ് നമുക്ക് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് എക്സ്പെൻസസ് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ്സ് ഓഫീസ് അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേഷൻ എക്സ്പെൻസ്, selling expense, distribution expense. ഓഫീസ് ഓർ അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേഷൻ എക്സ്പെൻസ്, സെല്ലിംഗ് എക്സ്പെൻസ് പ്ലസ് ഡിസ്ട്രിബ്യൂഷൻ എക്സ്പെൻസ്. ഇതിനെയാണ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് എക്സ്പെൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. വെൻ വി ഡയറക്റ്റ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് എക്സ്പെൻസസ് ഫ്രം ഗ്രോസ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് വി വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് ഓപ്പറേറ്റിംഗ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ്. These are different terms used in